Good morning. Welcome to Materially's first online Innovation Day. My name is Chiara Rodaiquez, and I am President and CEO at Materially. A few words about Materially for those of you who may not know us. We are a Milan-based boutique advisory firm focused on innovation and sustainability, starting from materials. For years, we have hosted training and update events on material solutions at our headquarters. We're now opening up this opportunity to a broader online audience to learn about new materials and connect directly with their manufacturers. Today's event is dedicated to three very diverse material solutions for the padding industry. A polyurethane foam developed in line with circular economic principles, a wool-based padding material derived from wool processing waste, and finally, lattice structures made from EcoTPU. Without further ado, I'll hand over to our first speakers from ORSA Foam, a manufacturing company and member of Polyurethane, the association that brings together the major Italian players in the polyurethane foam industry. I'll also act as timekeeper throughout the event, helping us stay on schedule with a speaker switch in approximately 20 minutes. Now I will leave the floor to Davide Galli and Andrea Cirani, ORSA Foam.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Davide Galli and I'm here with my colleague of marketing, Elga Mascheroni, and with our R&D manager, Andrea Cirani. And for those who don't know us, we are ORSA Foam, a company that produces polyurethane flexible foam. We are based in the north part of Italy, near Milan, and so we basically produce polyurethane foam. Our production is based on two key points: the quality and the innovation. The quality of our product is very high. We carefully analyze the raw material, and we have developed process to produce polyurethane flexible foam. We are in this industry since 1963. And we are also very innovative in this sector thanks to our internal laboratory. We are one of the few companies that has this feature in our production. And thanks to them, to our laboratory, yeah, it's possible to study, search continually, and develop new innovation for this sector. And the presentation of today will be focused on our sustainable material products. This is our range. This is one of the widest range on the market. We both produce polyurethane foam in polyether base and polyester base. For the polyether, we have the conventional one, the one with flame retardant properties, high resilience, viscoelastic, and so on. For the polyester, we only have a conventional and flame retardant with flame retardant properties. And we also have a line of production of rebound foam. We have two collections here: the rebound H that is based on byproduct, and the rebound R that is based on separate waste collection. And we will see them later. We've always been committed to sustainability. We are active in this field since the early 80s with the production of rebound H, which is made from our scraps. And during the year, we were one of the first to introduce bio-based polyol in the polyurethane. And recently, we also introduced some products that can be part of the circular economy. So we both use scraps, second raw material for the production of rebound, and we also introduce repolyol in the production of polyurethane foam. For those who don't know, the polyurethane can have very many applications, many different applications. First of all, the comfort sector, so furniture and bedding. As you can imagine, like most of the sofas and the mattresses are made of polyurethane. We also are active in the household industry with the production of sponges that are used to clean the house, the dishes, the car, every kind of surface. Also in the textile sector for clothing or other similar application. Also, for example, padding for bags. And talking more about the rebound foam, but also like polyester-based polyurethane, we are active in the construction sector, in the footwear, or also in the automotive and many other applications, for example, the painting roll or packaging or sport floor, and even also animal husbandry. So the main topic of this presentation is to present to you our sustainability journey and all the product that we have that are here represent that have good impact on the environment in different way. First of all, as I told you before, the Rebound H is the first step that we took in this sector. Is a rebound flexible foam that is made with our scraps. It basically uses a byproduct, and we take our scraps of production and also the one from our clients, and we take it back, granulate, and agglomerate. This is like the first step that we take in this field. In the early in 2006. We introduced the Gaia range that is made using soy-based raw material. This is the first introduction of bio-based polyol in the polyurethane foam, and this is a very performing product that combines breathability, comfort, but also durability and elasticity. And now I will leave the stage to my colleague, Mr. Andrea Cirani, that will talk to you about our latest innovation that start from 2021.
Yeah. Good morning to everybody. Thank you to Davide. As already told, I'm involved in research and development. And now let's continue our journey in protecting environment, speaking about Resorsa. It's a brand that defines a range of PU foam produced by using NOP. NOP are polyol based on renewable resources. This polyol replace fossil polyols, reducing the carbon footprint. Each Resorsa foam has its own certificate made by a third-party external lab. In this certificate is given the amount in percentage of renewable resources on the total weight of the foam. In the next slide, we show you all the grades that stand in this foam family. We have 2 grades in viscoelastic foam, 2 grades in conventional ether, 2 grades in HR foam, and 2 grades in CMHR foam. You can see the net density, so like the first one, 40 kilograms per cubic meter, and the percentage of renewable resources that are present in this foam. In this slide, we show you one of the page that compose the certificate, in which you can see the total amount of the weight of the foam and the percentage on the total amount of the weight of the foam based on renewable resources. You can see in green. Okay, in this slide, now we are speaking about another completely different topic. So the way with which we can make recycling with flexible polyurethane foam. First, we have the energy recovery. During burning, the foam develop a high amount of energy, so it's possible to use for energy recovery. The second way is the mechanical recycling, so granulation. With this technique, we can produce rebound foam, as already told by Davide. Then we have another way of mechanical recycling by reducing the foam in a powder. This powder is added to the formulation in order to produce, again, flexible polyurethane foam. The last one, that is the newest, okay, we can see, is the chemical recycling. So through a chemical reaction, we can use end-of-waste flexible polyurethane foam and return to the initial polyol that we can use again in the formulation to produce flexible polyurethane foam. Okay, here now we have a small video, a brief video, speaking about rebonded foam. Okay. So as you can saw during the video, we are producing both rebound H and rebound R. H is based on byproducts, so scraps coming from the production of flexible polyurethane foam, and rebound R in which the main raw material is end-of-life, ex-end-of-life matters that becomes secondary raw materials, so end-of-waste. Okay, here is a slide in which we show you the entire process that we use to produce, in this case, R, so based on the end of waste. In an external process, not made here in ORSA Foam, the end-of-life matrices are dismantled and are sanitized, okay, in order to destroy all the microorganisms that might be present on the matrices. Then we receive an end-of-waste flexible polyurethane foam. We grain in order to obtain grains. Then we rebound these grains by using a binder, and we can produce blocks in order to be cut in sheets, or cylinder in order to be cut in rolls for different application. Let's speak about the certification. So both H and R rebounded foam grades are certified according to Plastica Second Life, Plastica Seconda Vita in Italian, an environmental certification that identifies materials containing end-of-waste plastics or byproducts, like post-industrial scrap. The certification is owned by Institute for Promotion of Recycled Plastics, and thanks to this certificate, our customer can use our products for green public procurement, because the certificate is mentioned as demonstration of the technical requirements present in CAM, that are minimum environmental criteria. Okay, in this slide, we show you some technical data referring to ORSilent. ORSilent is the brand name for acoustic panels made with rebonded foam H. In this case, we present performance in acoustic for 80 net density kilograms per cubic meter and 150. That are two of the products that belongs to ORSilent brand name. So the use of these panels are for walls, ceiling, and floors. Okay, now we approach the last new foam family that we launched in last year. This year, yes, in the fair of Interzoom in Germany, in Cologne. I think that we have a small video also for this, and then we return together. Okay, here we are again. We approach this new project with three different scenarios. So we can produce flexible polyurethane foam based on polyether, okay, by using a polyol in which there is a content of recycled flexible polyurethane foam, and we use 20% of the total amount of the polyol in the formulation of this recycled polyol. Then the second scenario is based on polyester foam, that here is, okay, in Italian, polyestere. Also in this, we use a polyol in which there is a content of recycled plastic. In this case, PET is the recycled plastic. In this case, so in polyester flexible polyurethane foam, we use up to 100% of polyols on the total amount of polyols used in the formulation. The third scenario that we would like to approach is to use a small amount of this repolyol, so polyol containing recycled materials, in all our foam grades, in order to have a very big impact on the environment. Okay, here we can see again the same circle that we saw in the video. And I think that that's all referring our project. Going in deeply in details, we can say that at the moment, the range of the foam grades that we are producing in polyether are three foam grades. One with a net density of 28 kilograms per cubic meter, conventional liter, 2.2 kPa, that is the hardness. Then we have a Recycla T30, that is a 30 net density with a 3.2 kPa, that is again the hardness. And the last one is a Visco Foam, 42 net density with 1.2 kPa in hardness. All these foam grades are produced with a polyol containing recycled materials. Referring to the polyester, I would like to remember you that in this case, the polyol is based on recycled plastic that are PET. PET is the plastic with which we produce bottles for liquids. And okay, we can say that in 1 kilogram of polyol that we use for producing our foam is contain more or less 10 plastic bottles on 1.5 liters. The last one is, again, the third scenario that we already spoke about. That is the scenario in which we put a small amount of this repolyol in each foam grade that we produce in order to have a high consumption of polyols and a great impact on the respect of the environment. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all.
That's all.
Thank you again. Now I leave the floor to Giuseppe De Melas and Dea Selmani from Mariantonia Urru. And Dea, I think, is the first speaker.
Yes, hello everyone. This is Dea. Together with my colleague Giuseppe De Melas, we are here to represent the company Mariantonia Urru. Our presentation is actually quite short, so just bear with me on this one. So first of all, I would like to thank everyone who is joining us today into reviewing our solution for soft and sound. It's very different from the previous colleagues because it is based on a completely natural material. So first of all, this is our brand, Mariantonia Urru. Our logo is Land, Design and Stories, and you will understand why in a bit. So first of all, just a few words about our company. We are a textile laboratory based in the heart of Sardinia, the island. We take great pride into working with millennial-old weaving traditions that have been passed down through the generations until our founder, Mariantonia Urru. By still keeping a contemporary spirit that comes out through the various international collaborations we have with designers, artists, brands from all around the world. Our brand philosophy is actually pretty simple. We try to work as much eco-sustainable as we can. We try to contribute to a circular economy by working with exclusively local materials to promote our land, our territory, our people, and have as small possible of a environmental impact. The key is sustainability, not just to be sustainable, but because that's our way of life. It has always been like this in the island, and we try to keep it that way as much as possible. In the last couple of years, we have been part of the Marlene project, which is a word play for Mar, so the sea, and wool. It's a very interesting inter-regional project that between Italy and France that aims to promote the wool, the processes of the ecological transition of wool through different processes and products innovations, and it tries to focus on this natural material and to implement it as much as possible into various sectors. So you can maybe have a look later. It's a very interesting project. Starting from Marlene, our contribution to this project is, of course, our work that we have done so far with wool. As I said, exclusively Sardinian wool because, fun fact, we have twice as much sheep in our island as people. So it's a material that has always been there, that we are using for centuries, that has incredible mechanical and thermo isolation properties, that has been almost neglected in the, let's say, last couple of years as the focus goes through more synthetic or different kind of materials. So wool, just to mention, I guess everyone knows its properties, but it's naturally hygroscopic, it's thermally and acoustically insulating. Very importantly, self-extinguishing, means it catches fire, but it just extinguishes on its own. So it's the ideal material for this kind of solutions that we will present to you. And the aim here is to try and get as many applications possible that are only limited to one's fantasy, so to say. So yes, our project is called the Staju project. It's a Sardinian word that means creating a comfortable environment, so removing oneself from the outside world and creating a comfortable environment for oneself. How is this done? We work with wool, as I previously mentioned, to create our textiles, our design rugs, basically a whole range of products, where we select the most precious, so to say, fibers, which are the long fibers, to create yarns. During this process, a lot of material goes to waste because the short yarns are discarded since they cannot be used for the yarns. That is why we thought of a way to use this perfectly good material, natural material of, as I said, incredible properties, into creating products that can be applied in different sectors. So what we came up with so far, because it's an ongoing project, are these needle pressed panels that are made of wool yarn production waste. We recover these fibers that are discarded during the yarn creation, yarn making process to, yeah, as I said, create a whole range of products that I will try to show you in the next slides. So keep in mind, these are just some examples that I'm showing to you. It's an extremely versatile product in terms of dimensions, in terms of density, color even. So these are just a couple of examples that I will show you. So the first one is a semi-rigid fiber panel. It's crafted from a blend of dense wool, so the fibers are very densely pressed in together. It's combined with a bicomponent, which can be, different materials according to what one is aiming for. It can be cornstarch if we are aiming for 100% natural product. It can be also different other solutions. This panel is very rigid and fixed in shape, so it's ideal to create a core pad for all kinds of applications that I will try to show you in the upcoming slides. But yes, important here is it stays in shape. It has still like a minimal flexibility, and it can be yes, an excellent padding component or even covering component for all kinds of application. The next one is adjacent to this one is a soft fiber panel. It can be made of a composite of wool and hemp in varying ratios according to the softness that one wants to reach. Also 100% wool. This pad, compared to the other one, is very soft, so it's more shapeable. You can curve and turn it. It's a perfect addition to the first one because it adds a softness to the core. It's very importantly dust-free. Also usable in all kinds of applications. So the third one that I'm presenting today is the finishing product to this series. This one is a pad made of also short wool fibers arranged in a vertical position so that the distribution is almost radial. This mechanical property is key to the properties of the product because it can adapt naturally to all kinds of shapes, even curves or angles. It can close corners without the need of cutting or gluing or whatever. So it naturally takes the shape of the object that needs to be padded. It's very flexible, as all wool is, shock absorbing, and of course highly breathable. This goes for all three products because these are the basic natural characteristics of wool. Just in this case, since it's the finishing one, yes, it adapts very well to create different structures and a lot of comfort. The last one that I am showing is a pretty simple one. Actually, the name speaks for itself. It's wool stuffing spheres. What's important to mention here is that this product is 100% cruelty-free because yes, during the wool retrieving process, the animal benefits from removing, not shedding, but like removing, or should I say, I can't think of the word now, but you know what I mean. Like the animal profits from cutting its wool twice a year. So it's not, you are not harming the animal by doing this. That's why we call this a perfectly cruelty-free stuffing option, as opposed to what we use now in jackets, in down jackets, where you know the methods are, although that's a great material, but the retrieving methods are not that great for the animal. So in this case, it's completely cruelty-free, while maintaining the thermal and mechanical processes properties of wool. So the fibers, just like in the first two cases, they adjust to the different kind of pressure that you put to it and bounce back to their initial form. They voluminize themselves, so to say, by just coming in contact with each other all the time. So it's an ideal solution for stuffing everything from seatings, cushions. It can be, as I said, a great alternative in the clothing industry for winter jackets, because it has all the thermal and mechanical properties of wool, while yes, just being completely cruelty-free. Yes, as you know, I also mentioned here that wool is breathable, hygroscopic, and it adapts to the temperature of it keeps an ideal temperature of the environment, regulates humidity, while still being breathable and hypoallergenic. Now, as I said, I will try to show you some case studies and applications. These are just very few examples that we wanted to mention in the presentation, because the possibilities are basically limitless. So please feel free to contact us if you have new ideas. What we have come up so far are, of course, everything that has to do with the design world, because we come from the design world, especially furniture design, so upholstery. This one was a very funny take on Salone del Mobile, the design fair, where we created almost by chance this sitting arrangement called sheep in a box, because it's basically just wool pressed together with wool yarn to create this very comfortable, snuggly seating arrangements. The same goes for the tables. There we use the rigid panels to cover the tables, and called it soft table, which was a very funny intake also on a table being soft, but it worked. So as you see here, we just basically combined different panels together with wool, with wood to so 100% again natural furniture piece, to give this idea of softness, coziness, while still having all the full functions of a normal table. The next one is pretty interesting. I hope you can tell where our panels are. This is the Cassina showroom in Milan, a project by Patrizia Orchiola. Also very, very interesting. The designers came up with this idea of the retro illuminated wall, and you see through the colors of wool, which is customizable because that depends on the literally the shepherd and the color of the wool's the sheep's fleece. So we created this tan look for them. With the backlight, it has this fantastic soft light effect while still being highly acoustic and giving the room a a softness of sound, so to say. So no echoing. It kept the environment very cool, because that's just a natural property of wool as well, while being also beautiful, if I may say. Another maybe more classical application is, as I mentioned before, on the design furniture realm. In this case, we are showing cooperation with bolts and lattice, so bolts and beds. It's the typical upholstery solution where you use a combination of all three pads to create this perfect stay in shape bed heads, and also, as you see in the next picture, the end of the bed. Same thing, it's just a natural material to have in your home, in your bedroom, that can adapt to all kinds of design shapes and fantasies of the creative mind, so to say. The last one, or I think it's the last one, it's a very unexpected collaboration that we had with Toyota Boshoku, so the car that everyone knows. It's collaboration that is meant to redefine the future of sitting comfort, inspired by the traditional Japanese zabuton. There they asked us to create these seatings that are made up of 100% wool, to match them to the other solutions, as you see from the picture, from other brands. So we were a total, if I remember correctly, of 4 brands that presented different solutions, and the visitors were invited to come and sit and try out the different options. As you see, ours is the first one. Even the textile that covers it's the typical orbace, so it's a Sardinian wool textile, very typical of our island. Unfortunately, I don't have a detailed picture where I show how we created this seat, but it's basically the core made of the rigid panel, and then you have the soft panel around it to give more bounciness and softness. And of course, we created if you wanted to create the round edges, we would use the vertical panel. So yeah, we hope that this could be in the future. And we can adapt this natural materials also in the automotive industry, yachting, where we also have a lot of collaboration this far with this material. Let's see what happens. So yes, that's the end of my presentation. It was pretty short, but because it's a work in progress, as I said, feel free to contact us if you have new ideas, if you have impulses that you can give us to come up with new ideas, because we very greatly believe in the potential of the material, into the different ways we can apply it. Not just because it's a material that we love working with, but because it has excellent properties that have been forgotten, and we are working on just reminding people of what the potential of wool is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, they are very fascinating. Now let's welcome Hanirad PM, that's his short last name, or the shortening of his last name.
Yeah.
Please, the floor is yours.
Hi guys. Hello everyone. My name is Harinath. I'm the CTO and co-founder of EcoLattice. I will just start sharing my screen. Just to cross-check, am I audible and is my screen visible?
It is. All fine.
Yes.
It is, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah. Hi guys. Again, my name is Harinath, and EcoLattice is fairly a young startup. It's a London-based startup, and it started it started as a graduation project by our founder Yash, and it's been, to be precise, we are 1 year and 20 days old today. So it's just a really young startup. Yeah. So coming about EcoLattice. So EcoLattice is, I would say, it's not just about the material, and it's about the realization. So when I say realization, it's like realization about the planet, realization about the people, and more precisely the impact that we can create by choosing the right material for the right purpose. And yeah, so I think so far we all know why we are here about and what we are discussing. So we do spend more than half of our life in a soft material or foam-based material products. Like either we are sitting just like most of us are sitting right now, I assume, and either we are traveling in any public transport anywhere, or we might be sleeping anywhere. So, but we spend a lot of products that are really soft based, and it's actually the like all are we or are we here basically to discuss about realizing what's actually happening inside that material and how impactful it is and how can we make things better. And what EcoLattice does is we develop 3D printed lattice forms from recycled TPU, and I will explain in detail in the coming slides. This is what we do. And just as a reminder for everyone, why it is relevant right now, because we all are in the same goal to create a better future, and that's the basic agenda we are all discussing here. So just how relevant it is to replace the foam and foam industry, preventing things goes to the landfill, and how can we do that? Coming back to EcoLattice or EcoTPU basically. So we develop cushions from recycled TPU waste. So our raw material is TPU waste. So TPU is also called thermoplastic polyurethane, and which is a widely used elastomers in our daily life. So what we does is like we collect the post-factory trims or post-customer based customer products TPUs, and we recycle them. And since TPUs are a mechanically recyclable material, so we mechanically recycle it. And by default, TPU is like a really good material in terms of resistance to oil, grease, basically any infection control, and like really durable abrasion resistant material. So what we does is basically, as I mentioned before, we take the raw material, which is waste TPU, recycle them, and we make 3D printed filaments, 3D printable filaments, and we use FDM technology to make lattice-based forms. And we call our material EcoTPU, which is a trademarked material under EcoLattice. So this is what we do. So now, yeah. So we got a great material, and we make cushions or foam alternative out of it. And as the name says, EcoLattice beyond foam, it's more than a foam. We call it as a smart foam. Reason being is it's extremely lightweight because it's a lattice-based structure. So the combination of the material and the manufacturing process provides us a great possibilities and easy to clean. Like the material itself, properties like water resistant, resistance to oils and grease, provides great infection control and easy to clean. And it's a highly durable material and got really good fire retardancy. And since our foam is based off lattice structures, and we can easily customize the lattice structures, which enables us to have like varying density lattices or varying density cushions. And we follow a zero waste manufacturing process. When I mentioned zero waste, every waste that produced during the manufacturing goes back to the printer and becomes a new product. Even the product that we made can be recycled again and again. So it's a zero waste manufacturing process. And so yes, so far I mentioned about the material and how it is made and what it is made of. And now it's about how can we make that impact, like I mentioned, like the realization of using the right material for the right purpose. So we are currently having a couple of solutions. So I'll take you through each of them. So we have a general lattice forms, and we have personalized lattice forms. Then we have a optimized lattice, and each can be used in various purposes, but these are kind of the best possible way I can explain the right purpose of the material. So general lattice. So when I mention general lattice, it's the same lattice structures throughout the form. So which means the form will be of same density throughout the form. That enables us to faster production time, a large scale volume manufacturing, and really suitable for interior products like sofa, cushionings, all those things. Yeah, and again, depends on the use case, we can change the densities throughout the form, but it will remain the same show hardness across the form. And so you can see the small logos here, IKEA and here. So we had a really great opportunity to collaborate with these brands actually. So IKEA had a foam accelerator challenge. Basically, they were looking for foam alternatives for IKEA products, and we are proud to say that we won that challenge, and we are working along with IKEA to develop a couple of products. And again, with Haworth, one of the premium office chair brand manufacturing brands. We are working collaborating and working along with developing a couple of products with them. And the next one is personalized lattice. So personalized lattice is basically, like I mentioned, our form is based out of lattice structures, and we can manipulate that lattice structures. So in the first one, that was general lattice, that's the even density. Here, the main difference is the density of the foam varies from point to point, and it varies across the cushion. So what we does is like we take the pressure point data. Basically, when a person sits on a surface, the pressure created by that person, we take that data and we translate that into our cushion. And it's ideal for use cases where people are spending a lot of time sitting, for like customized seat for long drives, or like customized cushion for your uh, office furnitures, or work from home chairs, wheelchair users. Wheelchair users is really great for pressure relief and even for lumbar supports, because soft material, we are making we are 3D printing it. So that allows to match the body contours of the person. So we can customize and provide lumbar supports, all those kind of products that close to our body, that just made for that person. And the next one, this is actually one of my favorite, and we are currently really working on this one. I think it's a revolutionary thing right now. Uh, so what we did, so I mentioned general lattice and personalized lattice. And the optimized lattice is basically we are collecting data, as much as data possible, from various people and as diverse as possible, like various gender, age, height, weight, and we are trying to make clusters of this data and trying to optimize the lattice structures. So in a way, we are redefining the ergonomics. So traditionally, we have this ergonomics like the percentile ergonomics, or we have like this large, medium, small. All these are for mass manufactured products. But what we are trying to do is like a data-driven approach for ergonomics. So we club all this make clusters of data and optimize the lattice structure. So this is really ideal for mass customized products. For example, automotive seats, or mass-produced office and work from home furnitures, etc. So like mentioned before, I think the company, I don't know how to pronounce it, but we were also part of, I think I can see your form in the right behind our cushion. So we actually exhibited with Toyota Boschuk in the Milan Design Festival. Basically, we were asked to make a customized cushion, just like a optimized lattice for Toyota. Um, and we are also working along with Mahindra and Aston Martin to develop cushions, form alternative solutions for them. And Okay, just to give a short journey of EcoLattice. So like I mentioned, it started as a graduation project in 2023, and that was the first exhibition we did. And then we had an opportunity to work with Mahindra, one of the largest Indian automotive manufacturing brand. And 2024, we registered and became EcoLattice. And from there, we have been exhibiting in Birmingham Trade Show, Raw Collaborative. We participated in London Design Festival with Material Matters, and we exhibited Surface Design Show. And our next big show is coming during London Design Festival, along with in collaboration with Aram Gallery, one of the premium furniture manufacturers based out of London. And we are all, like I mentioned throughout my slide, we are also able to participate with, collaborate with companies like IKEA, Toyota Ashok, Aston Martin, Haworth, and yeah. And I also want to take you a couple of projects we have done so far, and again the same solutions like so automotive seats, optimized lattice, or we can say optimized comfort, and then general lattice for interiors. So these are our couple of products that we designed for London Design Festival, along with Material Matter. We presented with Material Matters and another product. While designing all these products, so since as a young startup, we are one thing we are really trying to do is like to make sure every process, every products in our pipeline or uh, in our brand, it comes ease of disassembly and ease of recycling again. So make sure it's not again going to the landfill. It can be recycled again. So for example, this tool, which is basically completely you can dismantle everything without any tools. We can easily separate everything, and it can go straight back to the shredder and mechanically recycle and become a new product. So it got only three materials. One is solid 3D material and the lattice structures and a cover which is made out of recycled PET. And so far you have seen a lot of 3D printing or additive manufacturing methods. So this something we tried with the traditional furniture material and the classic wood. So this was one project designed by Ariana, as a student from Central Saint Martin. So we made this was basically EcoLattice, EcoTPU is sandwiched between two panels of wood that allows the wood to compress as the person sits, gives you like soft feeling on a hard surface. And finally, this current project which we are working on is wheelchair-based cushions for wheelchair users. This is the personalized lattice area where we'll be taking the pressure data of the person and convert into a lattice-based cushion, and that allows you to have a cushion that designed precisely for the person. And yeah, that's about us. And if you have any doubt, any questions, please drop in the chat. I'm happy to explain.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Harry. Thank you, everybody, speakers and audience, for being with us. One of the purpose of these meetings is really to get to meet people. So please, audience, feel free to share questions with us. You will anyway receive the contacts of the companies directly. And yeah, and I hope collaborations and ideas will raise and from this morning or short morning, actually 1 hour and 20 minutes conversation. Thank you again, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.